Hi, this is Scooter, and I'm Joey, and let's do some yoga for anxiety. If you have a yoga block, that would be awesome, but if not, any kind of pillow that you want to sit on will do, but you want it to be about this size. And if you have some books that are about this size, you can handle that too. The other thing I'd like you to grab is either a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball. We're going to do some pressure point work with that a little later. I'll just put that to the side for now. And I want you to sit on top of your block or your cushion, just making sure your hips are elevated above your knees. And then just close your eyes. And start to breathe. Notice where your head goes right away. See if you can bring it back to you, putting your attention on you instead of your kids or your phone or your job or your husband or your wife or whatever. See if you can bring it back just to you. And what does that mean? To me, it means scanning my body, being curious about what it needs and where my attention needs to go. So is there something painful? Is there something tight? Am I uncomfortable in any way? Because the body will speak to us, but it's not very loud. And if it is loud, I recommend you taking your attention to that area immediately. And then just feel your sit bones, so between your butt cheeks and your genitals, there are these two bones. And I just want you to kind of take an exploration, rocking forward on the front of your sit bones and then rocking back. So you're kind of twerking your pelvis back like a twerk action. And then you're tucking your tailbone underneath, so you're rocking back onto your butt muscles. And when I do this, sometimes I'm rolling over some tendons and some ligaments and some muscles that are there that are really tightly wound. The phrase "stick up the ass" is not lost on me, that these muscles tend to grip and dictate a lot of our breath and what we're holding on to that we don't even know. So notice if this little action of just rolling over your sit bones is comfortable, or if you don't like it, check that out and see if you can open up your mind to your efforts of trying something new. And then when you've had enough of that, maybe you start to circle over to your left butt cheek and forward. And then all the way over to the right butt cheek and sit bone, and then contract your body back. And go super slow. What's it like to really be in every single moment of this circular action around your sit bones and your tailbone? And then maybe you start to connect your breath to that circular action. So as you exhale, you contract back in your rib cage. And as you inhale, you open up the front of your rib cage forward. Maybe you even lift your chin. And then as you roll back and contract, you drop your chin. You can let your breath be noisy. Or not. And if this feels good, maybe go the other way. Exhale as you rock back onto your sit bones, contract your spine, inhale, roll forward. Exhale, circle back. So it's like I'm traveling around this pole in my body as I'm circulating my body around this kind of channel that comes up from my sit bones out to the top of my head and beyond. And just see if you can find the full circular action. Notice where you're skipping. Notice where you're making more of a triangle or where there's some dead space. And once you've had enough of that, just find a little stillness again on top of your sit bones. And lengthen up through the top of your head so it feels as if you're elongating through your ears. Maybe your ears are like little antennae. Or some Lord of the Rings elf stuff going on back there. Whatever resonates for you, just notice that there's just a little bit of a lift at the back of your head as your chin tucks just slightly. Now wiggle your toes and soften your butt cheeks. See if they can relax. And then soften your jaw and your tongue. Let your tongue be really heavy in the bottom of your teeth. And now let go of your belly. And we're gonna breathe into that low part of your belly, that like Buddha part of your belly. He's a happy guy. So see if you can let those muscles be free and just let them soften. And be proud of that space at the lower part of your pelvic bowl. And let it hang. Now we're going to fill that up. So I want you to envision your torso being a balloon. And it expands three-dimensionally. So all that's going to happen is you're going to inhale for a count of 4. And you're going to exhale for a count of 6. And I want that done through your nose. So seal your lips. Grow through the top of your spine. And then inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale out your nose for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, expand your ribcage. 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take this 3 more times on your own. Last one. Good. And then keeping your eyes closed, just put your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly. Maybe tuck your chin slightly and grow up the top of your head again. Just notice if anything has changed. Notice if you can feel the heat of your hands. And then ask yourself, what's underneath your hands? Is it warm? Is there tension? Is there any sensation, maybe tingly or spiking? Be curious. And then wiggle your toes and let go of your butthole. Also maybe get the tongue out from the roof of your mouth, let that go. And then just soften. And on your next breath, slowly blink your eyes open. And release your hands. Hi, how are you? We're great. Okay, I understand this can be a bit much because we're seated like this, so let's take that guy away and let's find our ball. So you can stretch your legs to the side, take a little wiggle. If you're happy on the block, stay on the block. I'm going to recommend tucking your left knee in, or your right, who cares. And you're going to take the block just right in front of you. And all we're going to do is we're just going to work on your forearms. So often, a lot of us spend a lot of time at a computer, and these muscles that we use tend to get a little tight. I know you know. So first we're going to take the ball into the palm of our hand, and you're going to take your other hand and just push down on top. And you're going to take some circles just around the palm of your hand, the base of your hand. And what's that like? Just to experience the muscles in the palm of the hand. Then reverse your circles the other way. Notice if that feels good. Notice if you hate it. But just notice. Without judgment. Where you're at. Because you're perfect, just the way you are. And now take that into a little bit longer of a stride. So I'm going to take it into my forearm, but my top hand keeps pushing down. So I'm my very own masseuse. And then soften your jaw. Let go of your tongue, your forehead. Maybe you close your eyes because it just feels good to have this stimulation. The body responds like an animal. The more attention you give it, the more positive reinforcement, the more it wants to do for you, the more it loves you back. Deep thoughts. Okay, and see if you can get to the outer part of your arm. This is a little harder, so I like to take it kind of on the diagonal. So on the top part of my forearm, I'm going all the way to the wrist. All the way from the elbow to the wrist. Oh yeah, and just notice. How are you feeling? Can you let go of your butt muscles still and your belly? And when you find a spot, hang out there. Oh yeah. Maybe you find a little joy. Maybe ask yourself, what else can you let go of as you're massaging out these muscles and all of that energy that's stuck in that hand? And then let that go and just sit and notice what feels different. Half of the battle is just relating to the body and letting the body really talk to you. But that means you have to give it your attention, your consciousness, your love. Let's switch sides. So the other hand, the palm presses on the ball and push down on the top of the hand. So you're really massaging out all those crunchy bits in your palms. And then go the other way. Notice if you're clenching your jaw or your butthole. That's right, I said butthole. Let that shit go. And when you find a spot, really push down. Your own touch is healing. Maybe have the curious thought of, what does it feel like to be touched by you? beautiful is that? Okay, moving your top hand onto your forearm, the ball onto your forearm, just on the bottom. And get curious how the muscles live in your arm, how they move away from the bone. The definition of aging is losing mobility. And as we get older, the muscles attach to the bones, and that kind of makes us a statue. So just this loving act of putting a little pressure on your tendons, and your ligaments, and your bones, and your muscles, and the fascia is telling your body, hey, I don't want you to get old. I want you to be mobile. I love you enough to take the time to do this for you. Oof, there's a truth to that, isn't there? Flip your arms so that the top of your forearm is now on the ball. And there is no getting this right. And one side is going to be different than the other. But just this loving act means a lot to the body. And when you find a sweet spot, hang out there. Ooh. Beautiful. And when you're done with that, just put the ball to the side. What do you notice? How sweet it is to be loved by you. Whole new meaning. All right, friends, let's get into your shoulders and your neck. So bring your feet in front of you like me. You're gonna take the pinky side of your left hand and put it into your left hip crease. Same thing, pinky side of your right hand, put it into your right hip crease. Now notice my elbows are going to the inside of my knees. And this may be a lot. So if you're like, Joey, I can't do that, shove the block back underneath your bum. And then maybe you'll get a little bit more. But if you're like, Joey, no big deal. And I want you to start to walk your feet in together. Ooh, doesn't that feel good? And then squeeze your knees in, bow your forehead, contract in your spine. Oh yeah. And then breathe through your nose. Inhale. Exhale out your nose. This time breathe in through your nose and exhale out your mouth. Get weird, make noise. See which one feels better. Do this for 3 more breaths. Yes, please. Ooh. Unwind that. Maybe you circle your wrists a couple of times. Bring your hands behind you, your feet wide, and then just windshield wiper your knees right and left. Go slow. There is no points for being speedy. In fact, the body really likes to be taken care of at a slow pace. Beautiful. Good. You're going to spin just so you can see me. I'm going to put my hands behind my seat so that my fingertips face my butt. My feet are parallel, hip-width distance in front of me. All that's going to happen is you're going to lift your tush and then set your right foot on top of your left knee and then drop your tush down. This might be a lot, so if it is, just hang out here. If it's too much, extend the foot and come up a little bit. If you're like, no problem, Joey, I'm happy, life is good, play with pressing the knee away from your chest. And then the bottom foot is my left foot. I'm gonna heel toe it over to the right side of my yoga mat. Then I'm gonna drop my right foot to the left side of my yoga mat. Now go over your left shoulder and try and put your elbows on the ground. And if this is too much, there's a block right there. Look at that, elbows on the block. But if you want more into your lower lumbar, get down there. Make sure your right foot is flat on the floor, and there should be a nice twist in your lower spine. So you can bow your head and let all of your troubles, all of your anxiety just spill onto your yoga mat. Keep connected to that beautiful breath that you've created. And start to imagine maybe there's a color to your breath. Maybe you're inhaling pink and exhaling turquoise. Get curious. What comes to mind? Doesn't have to be so serious. Inhale. Exhale. Two more breaths. Notice where you're holding any tension and just use your breath as a conscious magnifying glass to kind of just check it out, give it a little love. When you're done with that, slowly walk yourself back to neutral. Bring your feet back to the floor, hands back behind your tush, just reset. And let's do the other side. Lift your hips all the way up. Place your left foot on top of your right quad. Lower your hips all the way down. Yes, please. That's going to be a nice stretch in your outer left hip. Again, if it's too much and you need to back off, just extend your hands, hang out, do what you gotta do, no big deal. The straighter your spine is, the deeper the stretch. Press your left knee away from your chest. And then let's heel toe your right foot to the left side of the yoga mat. And drop your left foot to the right side of the yoga mat. Keep spinning your body over your right shoulder. Send your elbows to the ground and get that beautiful twist in your lower spine. Again, if there's a block that you need to make this less offensive, get involved. So the spine is like the 405 of the body. And for those of you who don't live in LA, it's like a big highway. It's our nervous system. So any twist that we do, it's like we're wringing out all the garbage that we store in our body. All the trauma, all the stress, it lives in our nervous system. That energy. Life doesn't just happen to us and it just goes away. The three-dimensional shape that we is takes it on. And so as we're finding these beautiful twists and this lengthening work, we're creating space for what we don't need to leave. We're creating a little bit more space for something lovely to come in. 3 more big breaths here. Inhale. Good. Slowly make your way out of that. Bring your legs back in front of you. Windshield wiper your knees right and left one more time. And slowly lower yourself down to the ground, going gently onto your back. And extend your legs, palms face up. Close your eyes and just take a little